Hello my beautiful friends and welcome. This week I'm excited to be sharing what I eat during the working week, which includes a lot of delicious, easy and realistic vegan meals that I've been really loving lately. A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this one, and I hope you enjoy. Monday morning breakfast is one of my favorites recently, and I start by cutting up some cherry tomatoes, and then into a bowl I put some olive oil, dried basil, dried parsley, onion powder, garlic powder, some salt and some pepper. I mix it together and then add in those cherry tomatoes, which I'd halved, and mix them well so they're nice and well coated. I then transfer these into my air fryer and put them in for like 10 to 15 minutes. Whilst that's happening, I toasted some sourdough, put a little bit of vegan butter onto it, and then I use this tahini sauce, which I have been loving tahini so much recently. I pile the tomatoes on top, and that is my delicious hearty breakfast. I had some leftover chocolate banana muffins, and so I decided to snack on one of those, and this was kind of an all over the place day of eating. I was heading out to play netball in the evening, and I just wanted something in the late arvo to fill me up nice and well before I came home and made a bigger dinner. So I made a chocolate peanut butter banana smoothie, which is one of my favorites. I've been really enjoying getting back into having smoothies recently, and I really enjoyed having this one as a way to nourish myself before I went and did some exercise. When I got home, it was quite late and I just wanted to throw together a really quick and easy dinner. So I made some peanut butter noodles, and I just used some satay tofu that was a store-bought packet, as well as some red onion, some broccoli and some ramen noodles, and a homemade peanut butter sauce. When it came to Tuesday, I started by I guess this isn't grating, I don't know what you would call this. I was slicing some tofu very thinly, and then into a bowl I put some olive oil, as well as some soy sauce, barbecue sauce, liquid smoke, nutritional yeast, some vegan beef stock powder, as well as smoked paprika, onion powder and garlic powder. I mixed it together well and then coated these thin bits of tofu in the mixture before transferring them into a frying pan to fry them up and get them nice and crispy. I've also since done this in the air fryer, and it actually worked way better in the air fry, if I'm completely honest. I made this toasted sandwich kind of thing for breakfast with avocado, fresh tomato, that barbecue tofu, smoky tofu, lettuce and some vegan mayo. I love this so much. It's like a staple for me at the moment. When lunchtime rolled around, I prepped some veggies. So I started by cutting up some broccoli, as well as some red cabbage and then some green beans. I was trying to use up veggies that I had in the fridge, so I was cutting all of these up, and then I also cut up some red onion as well. I wanted to make myself another little noodle stir fry, which is just such a go-to for me when I have no idea what I want to eat and what I want to cook. So I started frying up the veggies, put some water on to boil, and then put the ramen noodles in to cook, and also added in some edamame. Once the noodles were cooked, I put them in, and then I added this miso tahini sauce, which is another type of stir fry sauce I've been really enjoying recently. Miso tahini noodles are such a staple for me at the moment. I feel like just like the miso tahini sauce in general that I've been making, I have been loving it so much that I feel like I'm craving it like every single day lately. And it's also really easy to make, which I absolutely love about it. So these noodles are my lunch today, and they only took 15 minutes to whip up, which I absolutely love. I want to say a big thank you to my friends at Squarespace for very kindly sponsoring today's video. If you're ever looking for some delicious vegan recipes to try out at home, not only do I have a whole YouTube channel filled with recipes, I also have a website filled with recipes, which is amandadux.com. I host and design my website using Squarespace, and I have been doing so for literally I'm gonna say it's 4 years now. I really appreciate the way that Squarespace helps me with running my business, which is food blogging. If you're someone looking to start your own blog, or perhaps start selling products or services, those are things that are super easy to do using Squarespace. I've personally sold my ebook on my website before, and it is seriously such a seamless, easy process to be able to add that digital product to the website and then be able able to track all of the orders coming in and ensuring everyone is receiving it well. I also love the blogging features because it makes it really quick and easy for me to be able to upload a new recipe for you to be able to try out at home. If you're ever looking to host or design your own website, I cannot recommend Squarespace enough. You can head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, you can go to squarespace.com/AmandaDux, and you can use my code, which is AmandaDux. It gets you 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. I went over to my friend's house for dinner and she very kindly cooked me dinner. This was a pesto pasta with some roasted pumpkin and a green side salad. It was absolutely lovely, such a nice way to end the day. With my hot cacao, I had the toasted sandwich I've been loving so very much recently with the vegan mayo, lettuce, barbecue tofu that I had left over from the day before, as well as avocado and then some cherry tomatoes as well. I feel like this is like the perfect savory breakfast and I've been loving it so very much recently, so you're probably going to see a lot of it moving forward. I'm definitely going through a phase. So I am especially in the mood to cook this afternoon, and I'm going to prep some sweet treats for the week ahead as well as make myself some lunch. I am very much so in my homemade pesto era at the moment, which if you've watched any of my recent videos you probably have picked up on that. I am going to make a homemade pesto and put it through pasta, probably with some tomatoes and maybe some greens as well. I know that that will be so delicious. And then I am also going to make some sweet treats. You know I love a sweet treat for the week ahead, and I recently got my hands on this, which is a pistachio cream. And it's so good. As soon as I tasted it, I just like had so many recipes come to my mind and things that I wanted to make with it. And one of the things that I thought was that when I usually make date Snickers, which are like medjool dates stuffed with peanut butter and coated in dark chocolate, I thought, wow, that would be so good, but with the pistachio cream instead of the peanut butter. Probably will be really decadent, but it'll be so delicious. And I just love having an afternoon sweet treat to look forward to. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. I'm really excited. I'm going to have sweet treats for the week, and I'm going to have pesto pasta for lunch. So it's definitely a good day. And of course the headphones are going in because a lot of the time when I am cooking, I really like watching something, especially if I'm home alone. And that something is usually old seasons of Survivor because I love Survivor so much. And it's just such a nice background watch for me when I'm cooking. So I love it. There's an insight into the behind the scenes of my videos, is that sometimes Survivor is happening whilst I'm filming. Definitely happening today. So I started by toasting some pine nuts and pumpkin seeds and putting some water onto the boil, and then into a mini blender I added in those nuts and seeds as well as nutritional yeast, some garlic, salt and pepper, as well as olive oil, lemon juice, some fresh basil and then some fresh spinach to bulk it out a little bit. I blended it all together and it made a really vibrant green pesto. I boiled the pasta, and then whilst that was happening I also prepped some cherry tomatoes. I added them into a bowl with some olive oil, salt and pepper, tossed them together well, and then popped them in the air fry for about 10 minutes. So I transfer this pesto into a frying pan, and then I add in some of the pasta water and mix it together. You want it to be on the more thin side for a pasta sauce, so I add the pasta in and it all mixes in really well, which is what we love to see. This served two, so I served myself up one with some nutritional yeast and some tomatoes on top, and kept the rest for my boyfriend to enjoy when he got home from work. I also got into making these dates that I've been talking about. I just love these so very much, and I start by cutting open the dates and removing the pips from all of them. Then I add in that pistachio cream in the middle, melt down some dark chocolate, and then toss and coat the dates in the dark chocolate and sprinkle with some crushed crushed pistachios on top before putting them into the fridge to set. Oh my god, these were literally so good. My boyfriend and I devoured them very, very quickly throughout the rest of the week. When it came to dinner, I made my classic miso corn veggie tofu noodle soup. Don't know what to call it, but we have this pretty regularly in our home, and I love cooking this as a hearty meal for my boyfriend, and I too enjoy. When it came to lunch, I had some of the leftover satay tofu in the fridge, so I decided to fry this up, and I thought it would be great on a sandwich, and I had kind of like a vision for what I wanted to make. So I was cutting up some red cabbage really thinly. I also then cut up some lettuce, some cos lettuce I had in the fridge, as well as some spring onion, and I had some avocado ready to go as well. I had one of these Turkish rolls, so I just put a little bit of vegan butter on, followed by some vegan mayonnaise, that lettuce, red cabbage and spring onions, followed by the satay tofu and some avocado and the top of the bread. Cut it together and had a delicious, filling, nourishing sandwich for lunch. When it came to dinner time, I was cooking pretty late in the night and prepping dinner for my boyfriend and I, which I love to do. I made some really quick and easy tacos just with some vegan like Greek yogurt, some spinach, lentil and walnut mince, some roasted sweet potato and some guacamole on top. My boyfriend had hot sauce on his. I personally did not, because I cannot handle that, but this was our dinner tonight. Really, really simple. On Friday morning, I started by putting some oats, some oat milk and some coconut sugar into a little saucepan over the heat, like about medium heat, and cooked that down, whilst I also added some frozen raspberries with a bit of coconut sugar and some water to another saucepan, and cooked that down as well until the raspberries were nice and soft. Add those oats into a bowl, top with this delicious raspberry, I guess we call it a compote. Oh my goodness, I never know how to say that. I also added some chocolate hazelnut butter for good measure. I'm heading out to work today. I usually work from home most of the time, so that's why I'm like cooking and eating at home most of the time during the week, and I have the time to make like delicious food. I mean, it also is a part of my job to do so, but today I am heading out to one of my jobs to work for the day, and so I made myself a nourishing breakfast to start the day. I just made oatmeal, which I've been really loving lately, just making like a simple oatmeal, just like a simple plain kind of flavored one, and then putting delicious toppings on top is essentially what I have been really enjoying, especially now that the weather is cooling down. And it's also just a good like budget friendly and quick and easy breakfast to make as well. So definitely in my oatmeal era at the moment. I'm really, really enjoying it. I put chocolate hazelnut butter and raspberries on top of this, and I just feel like it's gonna be so delicious. So I'm going to enjoy this breakfast and a little bit of quiet time, get my stuff together, and then head out the door and go to work for the day. And I'll catch up with you when I next eat something. On my lunch break, I got treated to a falafel pita pocket, which was really, really lovely. Enjoyed that very much so. And then I went out to dinner with my friends for dinner and drinks, which was so, so nice. Went to this restaurant that wasn't fully vegan, but had lots of vegan options for me to choose from, which I always very much so appreciate. I had a couple of cocktails, which is so nice to do with friends. On a Friday night, had some of this delicious bread as well, and then I ordered a couple of things. I got these pesto butter beans, which I really enjoyed, and I had those with the bread, and that was really nice. Everyone was enjoying their food so very much. I also had this like zucchini pasta that honestly I need to try and recreate, because I haven't stopped thinking about it since I ate it. It was one of the best pastas I've had in a really long time. And that brings us to the end of the working week, and that is everything that I ate ate during the working week. I hope you enjoyed and got a couple of new easy meal ideas to try out at home. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next week.